Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and those who have yet to make up your minds, and welcome to this week's episode of Alignment Shift. Now, don't all cheer at once.
Yay!
All right. We don't have much in the way of announcements this week. We did just kill a wasp, but that's much more important. Before we get into the weekly recap, so Snuggles can catch up with us, we will roll our intro. Hit it! Welcome back, where we realize that David Bowie and Haggard are the same person.
I don't think that's how that conversation went. Oh, but okay.
All right.
Oh, God. Sometimes the best conversations happen when we're not live.
Yes,
So,
it's so true.
It's because we're not live.
joining us this week, we have Elena Johanna van Muso-Kolowski de Rollo.
Hola.
The first.
Xavier Constantine.
Hello.
Vale Ardrim.
Hello.
Oldores.
Hello.
Glavadictus.
I love that guy.
I like that. That was great.
And Sapala Medeus. Isn't it Mendeus?
Mendeus.
We
And
got it.
and
Well,
I am everywhere.
well, I would like to point out to our graphics designer then that you forgot the N in Mendeus.
What?
Did I?
Mendeis.
Oh.
When you say graphics designer, who are you talking about?
The person that doesn't use PowerPoint.
Ah,
Oh,
sucker.
Oh.
I'll fix it later.
Yeah, that means he spelled it wrong. It's not
And
a burn on me.
I am the Dungeon Master Cal, and welcome to this week's episode. So, picking up where we left off, Vera Anran had made it into the abyss in a strange tower of seemingly organic stone that crisscrossed itself upward into a domed ceiling that sloped downward like the bottom of a dish. They managed to free the members of Vox Machina from their whatever enchantment was holding them suspended 20 feet in the air. They interacted with a pedestal containing a large crystal suspended in petrified tentacles. In trying to figure out how to use this identified as soul gem to return Vox Machina's soul to their bodies, eventually a gateway in the floor opened and a zombie came up. A big run kind of thing happened, and they managed to retrieve everyone's soul and escape from the tower as it came to life, and the organic walls that looked like smooth stone shattered open, revealing massive tentacles that came crashing down upon our party, who just managed to make it through the portal in time as a number of myconid infected zombies came charging after. One managing to make it through the portal, who was immediately dispatched by High Bearer Kima in the city of Vasselheim, where the rest of the party had made their way out. Having been brought in and under the protective wing of the Platinum Sanctuary, our party has been brought to the ancient city of Vasselheim, a bastion of civilization, the oldest civilization known, and has survived every calamity, every assault that has happened upon the world so far, and is a clash of many different cultures and religions, and is split up into many different districts. The party is led eventually to the Silver Talon's Reach, the district dedicated to the worship of Bahamut the Platinum Dragon. And this is the priesthood for this district are the Scale Bearers. Those of you who know Lady Kima, she used to be one of the Scale Bearers, but has apparently become the High Bearer in recent years. Let's see, what else happened of note? Vale, holding on to the Lich's Phylactery, a ornate mace. He smashed it into the ground inside the sanctuary, causing both himself and Xavier to get flung into the wall. Your cat. Flung into the wall and destroyed most of the furniture, to which they were informed you will be billed for.
Oh, I don't remember that bit.
Oh, yeah, I remember that bit.
I do.
Alright, new plan. We're getting out of here quickly.
Everyone remembers that.
Eldorez had a couple of drinks with High Bearer Kima, in which some words of wisdom were imparted. Some more to ease Eldorez's mind in this whole prophecy thing, and even put into perspective how one who manipulates darkness could be seen as the light, and how one who manipulates the light can cause darkness. So, where we pick up today. Going to metagame just a few things for the sake of story and catching up on things. We'll say that you all rested through the afternoon, not sleeping or anything of the like, but getting your bearings, cleaning your wounds, and nursing yourselves back to health.
I
Through the
sat in
day.
the infirmary.
Sitting in the infirmary with your parents as they and the rest of Vox Machina, as they are being tended to by the scale bearers and other healers and clerics. Eventually, as the day gets closer to evening, you are once again presented a meal with the rest of the Platinum Sanctuary, to which is held in some quiet between you all, as it has just been such an exhaustive journey, and you all kind of sit for about half an hour in silence, just slowly chewing your food and kind of enjoying the sanctuary that is provided by being surrounded by knights, paladins, after such a harrowing ordeal. And only after this amount of time do you Ananduil and Laura were not present during this meal. And as this realization slowly comes to you all, you look up at the other end of the room and see Laura and Ananduil enter, carrying large satchels and donned in their full travel. As you come in, Laura has her eyes kind of on the ground, and Ananduil, who is blue today, kind of pipes in and, hey, everyone, Laura and I, well, we wanted to make an announcement of sorts.
You're leaving.
Yeah. Laura perks up and looks up from the ground. We're both going to go back to Singborn. That was the closest place to home I felt in a while, and she trails off, and you see her kind of tousle her hair a little bit. It's kind of messy, and she doesn't seem to have done a very good job cleaning it during this time. Kind of trails up and looks to you, Elena, almost an embarrassed glint in her eye of shame. She looks at you and goes, "You're right. You were right at the
I'm
beginning.
about.
I'm not cut out for this life.
I don't think any of us are cut out for this life.
No. No, you all did perfectly fine. When everything came and went, you all jumped into action, and I almost lost someone very annoying yet very dear to me. And I don't think I could go through that. So I'm going to go back to Singorn. I'm going to try to meet back up with the Stalwart Watch and leave adventuring to people who have more heart than I do. She starts to kind of stutter and stammer and trail off, and Anandawil puts her arm around her and just kind of comforts her a little bit.
You
No,
don't
it's
have
okay.
to. You don't have to be sad about doing something and learning that you're not made out for it. It's how we live our life.
Yeah.
Make decisions. Nothing to be ashamed of or sad of.
She looks up a little bit, kind of. Yes, Apollo?
I was just gonna say that Sipala is crying at this point, and she runs over and just joins in on this hug thing.
Laura gets down and gives you just a great big hug, and you feel her kind of sob a little bit into your shoulder, pulling you in a little bit tighter. She pushes you away, puts hands on both your shoulders. I need you to keep them out of trouble. You're the only smart one here.
Well,
I resent that.
No, you resemble that.
I'm confused.
Good.
She called you stupid.
Before you go, I'm sad to see you go, both of you. I actually enjoyed having you guys here, but I wanted to say I know that when we first left on this journey, you and I had differing opinions about adventuring, and times where I would probably run and hide, you jumped in, and you risked everything, and you taught me how to be brave.
Well, that's a harrowing thought.
Was pretty badass when you jumped in to fight that monk.
Well, I was terrified. And I didn't expect I would be. So, if you need either of us in the future, you'll find us in Singorn. And we won't hesitate to give you a hand. But right now, we both need to understand more, learn more,
Rest.
grow a little, and rest.
Understandable. Elena,
Yes.
I think you have something for us.
I believe it's in my room. I'll go get it.
Wait, Elena.
Yes.
She kind of looks at you for a moment, kind of clutches at the spot around her neck where the locket used to hang. Just looks at you. Keep it. I'm tired of trying to live up to a person I've never met. Try to live up to a name I don't know. I'm tired of looking to the past.
I'll keep it safe
keep
until
it
you
safe
want
for
it
me.
back.
Yeah. I'm not good at. I'm not. I'm not good
Elena,
at.
would you hug her already?
I go and hug her.
As you go for a hug, she kind of like turns to leave, like covering her face and like getting ready to move. But you come and like grab her, and she kind of lets the hug happen. You feel her almost violently shaking, holding back the emotion. She puts a hand around her own shoulder and kind of grabs your hand that's over there, squeezes it tightly, and then just gently kind of shrugs you off and begins to walk out the door. And Ananduil kind of picks up a bag. I miss you guys.
I miss you
I love
too,
you.
Angelo.
Love you too, Zip. And she turns and walks out too. All right. So from that point, the rest of you finish your somber meal or whatever you can stomach, and the evening is yours as you're getting ready for bed. Anyone need to do anything?
Oh, sorry.
Go,
ahead.
no, you go ahead.
Mm.
Ladies
No, Vale, go.
first.
No, Xavier, I'm going to go with you.
Oh, okay. I will work further on the bracelets.
Okay. Give me your Arcana check.
Oh, damn, that was low, but 19
All right. Where did we have you on those?
at 50%.
Let's put them up to 70.
Woo!
I don't know why I grabbed the giant ass wand pen I have.
Is that all you wanted to do while you were getting ready for bed, Xavier?
That, and I was going to scribe some spells. I was going
All
to
right.
scribe Expeditious Retreat into my book.
Okay. Do you have the components you're going to need for that?
Yes, I have enough for 2 spells, or 2
Okay.
levels worth of spells.
Perfect. So you sit down in your room and
Yeah,
begin the tedious endeavor of copying over arcane sigils from a scroll and destroying it in the process. Or not a scroll, from the spell book, I believe it was, correct?
Yeah, from the book. It doesn't destroy it.
Excuse me. It does destroy it from the book too, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
No, not from books. For scrolls, it destroys them.
Okay.
I like to think he finishes copying it, tosses in a trash can, tosses in a lighter. Just
Well,
burns
don't
it
need that
afterwards.
anymore.
Why do I need a lighter? Just snap my fingers.
It's the
It's the thought,
yeah.
the action.
It's like this SpongeBob episode where he's just running around in his mind. Delete everything! Just everything's on fire.
Yes.
All right. If you'll give me just 1 second, I just cut my thumb on a pen.
Oh.
Ow.
On a
Why?
pen?
Is it the Christmas pens? Did you cut your finger on the
No.
Christmas pen? Okay.
No,
Dang
it's
it.
my. Well, actually, it was from Christmas, but it wasn't your Christmas pen. It was the calligraphy
the
pen.
quill.
Who is
Excuse me.
next? Anyone else have something they wanted to do this evening?
I wanted to do something.
Okay, Elena.
So I want to go sit in the infirmary, and while I'm sitting there, by my parents in the box mopping his bed, I want to look at the locket.
All right. So you sit down next to your parents' bedside, pull out the small locket, and it's a very simple chain, very simple locket. Not any special engravings on the outside or any. It's not even in a heart shape or symbol. It's just a very small oval. And you break it open, glancing at the inside. What you see is a tarnished, what appears to be hand-drawn portrait of a small child with shoulder-length hair, very curly. Over her shoulder, you see a hand resting on one shoulder, a hand resting on the other. It looks like this drawing is a part of a larger portrait that has been trimmed off. And on the opposite edge of the interfacing of the locket that faces the picture, you see engraved, "Darling Lorelei A."
Is there any way? Okay, is the portrait drawn on paper, or is it drawn on the locket directly, engraved directly on?
It looks like it's drawn on paper that has been pasted inside the locket.
So I can't take it off and unfold it.
No, you could try, but it might destroy the picture in the process.
I don't want to do that.
Make a knowledge or intelligence check.
Okay, I can do that. I'm pretty intelligent. She says doubtfully. You said intelligence?
Yep.
I can do the smart. I
Doesn't
can
sound
smart
like you can.
things.
That would be a natural 20 plus 2.
Natural 20, perfect. You've seen this picture before.
I have.
Yes.
When?
You've seen this picture in the Lawbearer's house
Mhm.
in Whitestone.
That's awkward.
Wait a minute. No. Wait a minute. No. Is she the lawbearer's daughter?
Check.
Silence.
He shrugged at you.
Yes. I can't see him.
I have no idea. I can't see either.
With the natural 20 intelligence check, you will remember that the family that was in the portrait was not the Lawbearer's family.
Right. It was the, oh my god, why am I blanking on the vampire's name?
Liam?
But it was his
Liam?
wife and daughter.
Liam Altira.
Look, we only know 2 vampires named Liam. Okay.
Wait, why is she royalty though?
Oh.
You know, the Derolos aren't the only nobles in
No,
Whitestone.
no.
Jesus.
He wasn't from a noble family, if I remember correctly.
Maybe he wasn't.
He's
another
kind
side
of like
Or
a
maybe
noble.
his wife was. Oh.
What was that, Sapala?
He's kind of like a noble. Head of vampire peoples, just saying.
If that's how they run things.
I mean,
Also
it makes
a drug
sense.
This is
But
the
anyway,
game.
little metagame, yeah. But yeah, so that's what you see inside the locket.
I knew the name Lorelei sounded really familiar.
Right.
I was going through my notes. I'm like, where is it? I know I've written this
Yeah.
down somewhere.
All right. If no one else had things they wanted to do this evening.
Oh, Big May.
Oh,
Big
oh
me.
Vale?
Yeah, me.
Alright, I also wanted to go to the infirmary
Okay.
for unrelated,
On your
unrelated
just
friend
catch
looting
me,
reasons.
like,
on your
shocked
way to the infirmary, I'm going to explain to our viewing audience who was not here because this is a pre-stream conversation. There was a vampire lord in Whitestone by the name of Liam Altira, whose wife and daughter had been either killed or went missing 30 years ago during the Briarwood incident. His wife was strung from the sun tree, but we're never really told what happened to the daughter.
She's probably fine.
She's probably fine. So,
As is Liam. Liam's definitely fine.
definitely fine. So you make your way through the Platinum Sanctuary into the infirmary, where you see Elena kind of. Elena, describe your reaction to seeing this in the locket.
I'm like holding the locket, like just shocked, like no movement, just staring at it, like oh my gosh.
Alright, typical Elena. Moving on.
And then I put it down, and I just was like, what?
Cat have been captured.
Vale?
Just bringing the toy back. I need to hold him still for a minute. I assume Kiki's here.
Yeah, she's asleep on one of the beds.
If
Alright.
you rob,
I'm sorry,
box
are you not
locket
busy staring at a locket? Being
I put
shook?
it down,
Being
okay?
shook.
Put it down. Veil.
Excuse you. I'd like to pull out the piece of Kiki's antler headdress
Oh.
and cast Mending to repair it.
Okay. Without
did he
any problem, you hold your hand over the antler piece that is in her hair, and a faint glow emanates from between your fingers. And as you pull back your hands, you could not even tell that there had been a break before.
That's nice.
Because Vale can't be trusted.
That was.
And then rifle through her. No.
Then I rifle
That
her.
was the main one.
I grab her
No.
staff.
Oh yeah, and to note, her staff, Elena's bow, or Vexalia's
Yeah?
Vexalia's bow, Percy's cloak,
Ooh.
Pike's armor, everything is there.
Oh, they're gonna say it's all just like piled in one convenient spot.
Meath,
Yeah, you
Scalen's
know.
sword, Meath Carver.
Yep.
No,
All
I
sheathed or
wouldn't
held,
know it.
or the staff is kind of like placed up next to the bed. The bow is put to the side. It's not. They're not in bed with their weapons.
I liked the thought of the Spire of Conflicts, this finely decorated staff. Just like, oh, this is cool. Smack, smack, smack. No, Bill wouldn't know what these things are specifically.
Not a clue.
I will hand Elena her 100 platinum,
Oh, thank you.
and I will leave.
Do you want to go shopping tomorrow, Vale?
I've already gone.
Oh, okay. Never mind then. We won't have a shopping day then.
Maybe ask me when I'm in the room.
I asked you as you handed it.
I already left. Sure.
All right. Anyone else doing anything this evening as the night
Yes.
draws to a close? Apollo.
Is there a balcony or a ledge that I can just
So
be
there
outside?
aren't in the bedrooms, but right at the entrance to the Platinum Sanctuary, it's a very long stairway up to I don't want to say a ziggurat-like stairway, but it is almost old-fashioned temple-y at the top. So there is a nice landing that overlooks the entirety of the city up against its mountainside.
Okay. I'm just gonna go sit outside, and I want to scry on Glaive.
Okay.
Thank you.
Glaive, go ahead and roll your save.
You know what would be great if I had my character open so I could actually save. Wow, you gave us a lot of stuff. Where's Glaive at? He's buried. Dig, dig, dig.
6 feet under.
You find a Goliath skeleton on the other side of your scrying.
Sweet. That usually doesn't work.
No, it's still alive. That's why.
Oh, that's awkward.
Now I have the
I actually don't know what kind of save this is.
Wisdom.
Wisdom, yeah.
Well, this is gonna suck. Oh, that's a lot. 26.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that sucks.
Fucking heck.
Glaive.
I have a -10 modifier because she knows me.
Okay.
6.
Wait, you rolled
No,
a
wait.
26 with a
So-
-10?
No,
No. I have a 26 total, but because she knows me, she gets, or I get a negative to my score. I actually don't know what it is. One of them is a -10.
Player handbook, player handbook,
I
player
got it.
handbook.
Scrying. You know the target well, -5. If she has any body part, lock of hair, bit of nail, or the like, it's -10.
Are you using a piece of glaive for your spell?
Are you using a piece of glaive?
Or a
so
likeness or picture or a possession or garment.
yes.
I feel like we have a possession of his.
I have the giant book, but I don't know if that counts.
Yeah, that would count. It was important to Glaive. Glaive
So,
purchased it for you and
Possession,
was reading it.
for a possession is -4. So -9 overall, right?
Yes. So 26 -9 would be a 17 then? What's your spell save DC?
17.
Still matches it.
That saves.
Dang it.
Are you sure you don't have a piece of his blood on you? Or
I mean,
Piece of hair.
His blood's in all of us.
let me see what I have.
That's creepy.
My blood is only in Vale and Elena
That's how you get
No,
magic
you
aid.
have our soul.
because my blood is in you.
Ew. Which we
Anyway.
have very clear about that.
Although the other question is, I think you can allow a scry, can't you?
If
Well,
you,
no.
if you know.
Yeah, he doesn't know. So yeah, you try to focus on Glaive, and it doesn't. It feels like something's kind of pushing you off, like you can't focus on him. And the spell fizzles.
Well, it says update. So
I'm
the
sorry,
invisible
Robot
sensor
Sapala, can you
with
say that
infinity
again?
of the target.
She's casting cards.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
I love how she cleared her throat.
On a failed save, the spell creates an invisible sensor within 10 feet of the target. You can see and hear through the sensor as if you were there. The sensor moves with the target remaining within 10 feet of it for the duration. A creature that can see invisible objects can seize the sensor as a luminous orb about the size of your fist.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
What's
on a failed save.
Yes.
This was a successful save.
Oh, never mind. I'm an idiot.
okay? Yeah. So spell fizzles.
You're not an idiot. You were just confused by the word.
However, as Sapala's spell fails, we are going to shift perspective, although you will not be privy to this information.
I miss Glaive though.
He's
So,
probably not dead.
shifting our attention, however, to the other side of Exandria, the camera pans over the elven city of Single.
Wasted.
In the mid-afternoon sun, as time zones exist on this planet,
As they should.
we focus in on Glaive Van Alta, who is in a nicer tavern, alone in your bedroom, kind of contemplative, sitting on the edge of your bed. And as you're sitting there, a familiar voice fills the room. Ah, there you are, Glaive, old boy. It's been some time.
Oh. All right. I get up and I turn to see if it's exactly who I think it is.
You turn and see a very well-dressed, dark figure in almost dress clothing, almost a three-piece suit with a dark beard, a slightly not rotund, but portly individual, sitting in a chair in the corner of the room facing you, holding what looks to be a glass of brandy. I haven't seen you in quite some time. You've been hard to track down. Come, have a seat.
I do. Does somebody have the hiccups?
That would be me. I want to.
How have you been, Glaive? You've been out of my sight for some time. A very difficult feat, I must add. What have you been up to?
I've been up to a great many.
I see. You've made yourself quite a fortune, it would seem. Ha ha! Good on you. But I am not here for pleasure of your company. I do need something of you, and I think you shall find it to your liking.
Speak.
Well, I was just thinking to myself today, I haven't heard in a while, and you're clearly not in any way, shape, or form attempting to assist in my endeavor, that your necessity in my scheme has come to an end. You are, as they say, expendable now. I have found another way to obtain what I need, and so you're no longer necessary. And while I contemplated ending your life, I thought, no, I can still use him for something. But then, of course, your friends have been busy. While you've been gallivanting in mines and whatever you've been up to, they invaded my home and took something rather important of mine. Now, of course, I will trust retrieving that important artifact to much more capable individuals. However, I do have one thing I would like you to do, and I'll even reward you for it. If you
And what would that be?
If you track down... Well, let me start this from the other direction. What I'm willing to offer you is freedom. If you do what I ask, I will release you from this blood curse and all those who are afflicted by it. In exchange for one simple measly task. I want you to kill the paladin who rent my artifact from its plinth.
Does the paladin have a name, or am I just to lay waste to every holy blood that crosses my path?
Oh, well, that would be a sight to see. I was able to listen in on their conversation. He stays with them now, your ex-family, at the moment. A dragonborn by the name of Benedictus. Kill him, and you are free, Glaive Vandal.
Then the deal will be struck.
Wonderful! Make haste then, they will be here soon. And with a puff of black smoke, you watch as his demeanor shifts into darkness, and you see almost tendrils of octopus-like tentacles wrap around his form and pull him into an inky black void. And then you are left alone in the room again.
Benedictus, I know not what poor soul you... But you will meet my way.
Smash cut to Benedictus, sitting alone in his room, contemplating murdering Glaive Van Alta.
Ooh.
Who is... I think somebody just said my name.
So,
I like to think this is a movie and they're both played by the same actor.
oh, they are absolutely.
Almost
Yep.
definitely.
Smash cut. Hey!
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I'm
So,
stressed.
did anyone else have things they wanted to do this evening?
No.
No? All right.
Bernie
Kind
does.
of.
Yep. Oh, yep. Odoris. Odoris.
No one said
wait,
anything.
Doris
Hold on.
first.
Odoris first.
Oh, okay. So after having, oh wait, this is later on in the evening.
Yep, it's bedtime.
So after having a few too many drinks and then having dinner
Yep.
quietly, Uldoris makes his way to whatever room he's been assigned to, and he is going to look at his shadow long and hard.
So, cracks knuckles.
Oh boy, here we go.
So, you enter the private quarters that were assigned to you. It's kind of a guest room. Most of the paladins here and the scale bearers kind of share a communal, almost barracks type of living quarters. However, they do have guest areas for foreign dignitaries, and visitors to the Platinum Center, led to and given. As the room closes, the air almost seems to suck out of the room in a cold chill as your shadow is timid and sheepish in the corner and not making lack of eye contact with you, not though it has no eyes, clearly trying to look elsewhere.
So, what was that all about? And
You see,
don't pretend that you can't tell me, because you didn't have a hard time communicating with Percival. I want some answers.
you see it fidget for a moment. It kind of looking to the ground, looking to you, looking around for any excuse, any way out of the situation, any way not have this conversation, and eventually a defeated sigh fills the room, and you actually feel the room kind of brighten as your shadow just slinks against the wall. It shifts into a formless mass covering the entire wall. Parts of it ebb and fade into almost a picture box, creating a framework around the wall. You've seen similar before, as it's told you other stories and shadow puppets, and roll your eyes as carnival tale is about to unfold in front of your eyes. This time, you see two tiefling figures, one male, one female, the male taller than the other, and two smaller tieflings, children-sized, holding their hands. They are huddled very close together and are seemingly running from the edge of the frame. A figure, another enters, and you see it beckoning them, ushering them off to the side as they run into a shelter. The fog shifts, showing the interior of a small cabin. Inside, filled with many horned individuals, all cuddled together, shielding from whatever is outside. As they seem to talk in here in this two-dimensional perspective, you see an argument ensue between them. A knife is pulled. One of them kind of pushes the other, and a fight kind of ensues. Suddenly, the door bursts open, and you see the members of Vox Machina in silhouette form burst into the room, chasing after the figure that had withdrawn the knife, and the figures in the first time. You've seen what happens next. Your eyes, what ensues. You wait a couple seconds and look back to the wall, seeing the woman fall, clutching the small child and falling over top. Your eyes, tears again. You've seen this part before. You see the child crawl out from beneath its mother. Something catches your eye that you've never seen. Very faintly outlined in the shadow, emerges from the back. Wispy, thin, mirroring her form before the
All right,
outline.
I'm losing parts of you here. You're breaking up a little.
How am I now?
Well, I guess we'll find out.
All right, where'd I lose you?
Right after you were just starting to say something you'd never seen.
Okay, something you've never seen before. Out of her back, you watch as a smaller, just barely outlined black form of the woman sits up. The main slump still laying down, but this spirit sits up from the body and watches as her son begins to walk away. She raises a hand and immediately steps forward out of her body and begins to follow, but is cut off as another shadow comes in. You see the form of a woman, tall and elegant, wearing black robes, or well, what you can assume to be black and nothing but shadow, with a porcelain-style mask appear in front of the spectral form of this woman. The spectral form opens her arms and beckons this woman toward her. She looks to the one in the porcelain mask that you recognize from the shrines as being the raven, and then looks to the small child that is shrinking into the distance, getting smaller and smaller. Looks back to the Raven Queen, looks back to the... and begins to walk away from the Raven Queen. As she takes a step, suddenly her foot gets stuck in the ground. The thin outline of her form, white against the Platinum Sanctuary's whitewashed walls, now stuck in something black and ichorous on the floor that she is treading. As she takes another step, it pulls up at this tar-like substance that you now see to be a hand holding her by the ankle. She struggles, trying to take another step as a hand, black, gnarled with long fingernails, grabs onto her other leg. You see her sink to her knees as hand after hand after hand begins to pull this form down, down, and down as she struggles to make her way back toward the surface. You see her pleading, begging toward this figure, the Raven. Inaudible, her hands gesticulating into the air, asking something as her head sinks beneath the ground, covered by two massive hands that pull her beneath. As nothing but her white hand is extended from the ground, a figure descends from above, almost angelic looking, and stands next to the Raven Queen. You've seen this symbol before on Veil, emblazoned on this figure, the symbol of Saren, the goddess of forgiveness and redemption. She extends her hand down, just barely fingertips sticking out of the blackness that was pulling her down. Reaches in and pulls up, and now the form that comes out is stained and dark. Pulls her up, you see her elbow, her shoulder limp from the ground, and she sets her on her feet, which kind of teeters for a moment until the eyes open and you see purple light from your shadow cascade across the wall, and you hear a voice this time, the first time you've ever heard a voice from your shadow, but it is not a voice before.
You're cutting up like really badly.
Yeah, you're
Oh my god.
Sorry.
Such a time for
Just the
cutouts.
voice part.
Blah, 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 blah. How long am I now?
Good for the moment.
Okay. You hear a voice pierce through, echoey, beautiful, and resounding, echoing through the hall. And you hear, "Find redemption." And the shadow looks towards you and looks back and continues to step toward its child. The shadows coalesce, and once more you see the form of your shadow on the wall looking.
But why were you fighting yourself?
It holds up its hands. Looks at each one. Tries to figure out how to put shadow puppets to show you what it is. It replays on the wall the scene of the black hands from the ground clawing, pulling her under, and then comes back to itself and points at its own heart. Points to the edifice of skin on its form. Gesticulating that it is part of the darkness that almost consumed her.
I think I understand now. And I am so sorry. He gets up off of the edge of his bed where he finds himself now sitting, and walks over to the wall where his shadow is, and
The shadow turns away, almost ashamed again, kind of expecting a lecture of some kind, perhaps.
Uldoris reaches out a hand and just with his fingertips touches where the cheek would be.
The head turns towards you as you place your hand on the cold.
I have never forgotten what sacrifice you both made.
It puts its hand up on your hand, eyes piercing into yours.
That answers a lot of questions, actually. But it also begins to ask more. Like, what do I do about Lulette?
The shadow kind of jerks back a little bit at the mention of her name. The shadow reaches out a hand, and your scythe storms on the wall.
Am I to cut her down? My own sister.
The shadow looks pensive, kind of almost looking in fear at the scythe in its own hand. And it dissipates and it looks down at its own palms. The shadow, as best it can, appears on your chest and puts a hand over your heart and gives you a nod.
Uldoris swallows hard and he starts to manifest the weapon in his hand, but stops. Then I will. With whatever mercy I can find in my heart at the forefront. But I will follow through.
The shadow looks around back and forth, looks to you, holds up a hand on the wall, palm extended, and creates the shadow of a flower.
Been spending too much time around Sapala.
The shadow can only assume to be some form of laughter.
Okay, I feel better. I feel a bit stronger. I think we have a lot of work to do. I am glad you are here with me.
It puts both of its hands over your chest, as if to say, always will be. Okay. Anything else you wanted to say to your shadow?
No, I think that's it for tonight.
All right. Eventually, your way over to bed. Now, knowing the full story, what happened? Which, boy, has that been quiet for a while. Anyone else have anything they wanted to?
So I'm gonna start talking to my shut now.
Yes, sir.
No.
No, you're gonna be talking to Bernie.
Already?
Yeah,
I was gonna do that
I'm
later.
after Vale
Right now?
right now. Yeah,
Okay.
that was the thing I was wanting to do.
So you're going to Vale's room?
Yes, I am.
All right.
Yeah. You in there?
Yeah, I guess I'm here. Alright, I'll open the door. Bernie.
Vale. Now that we got the names out of the way, may I come in?
Sure.
I enter. I need to know more about Glaive.
Okay.
I was ordered to take necessary action against somebody who is stealing souls. As you are one of the victims, I need your input.
I see. This is about what Elena said.
Yes. Also, can you turn off the radio? You have terrible taste in.
I know.
Cassie, can you turn on the TV a little bit? All right, I'll mute.
Oh, I thought it was Peggy.
No, my wife is watching Glee in the background. I'll mute myself.
Okay.
I'll mute myself.
All right, there. Is that better?
Much.
Okay. Sorry, I fell behind. I'm trying to catch up. Well, I can't say I'm 100% informed on this. However, what he told us was that oh boy, wish I'd taken better notes.
I mean,
He
you were
had-
there. Why were you taking notes?
You know, important things. Oh God, when was the last time I took notes?
3 years ago.
Oh, that's not good. Okay, never mind. What he told us was he had come into a pact with do I know what says Modius? I think I do, right?
That's what he told you.
Okay. Just making sure. With Asmodeus. And I believe how he described it was those that he used his abilities on were marked for Asmodeus to claim upon their death. Although I don't know how willing this was, given that he did what he could to avoid using his powers on at least the several of us.
Okay.
He
So,
didn't seem completely pleased with his situation, and I think he was trying to find a way out of it.
so far, what I'm hearing, unwilling candidate, not willing to be part of something, but is spreading around a curse, and you're not entirely sure how many people are under the effect.
I'm not. However, I do think he is trying to make up for it.
make up for it or not, there are at least 2 people that I know of that are claimed because of Glaive. That means that, well, I'm going to talk to Lady Kima in the morning about that. And I'm going to speak with Elena.
I'd just
your
like you to
time.
keep in mind that hopefully whatever's necessary is redemption. I don't know if you knew this since we parted ways in Drina. I've begun putting my faith in Sarenrae. And you could say I'm a bit of a believer in second chances now.
And I am a believer. We believe that in order to win a war, if redemption is possible for him, then he will have it. If it's not, then he will be met on the other side of.
That's what I ask.
You have a good night, Phil.
You as well.
And then if I have time, I'm going after Elena.
Oh, sure.
You
go-
take cover.
Go down to the next doorway and
Hello,
Elena. It's Benedictus.
Benedictus.
I need to talk to you about Glaive.
All right, I let him in.
Thank you.
and I am Tiberius Stormwind. I'm from Draconia.
That was a
My
really
God.
good one.
Tiberius
really
plays the
good.
long game.
Yeah. Yes,
I-
Benedictus.
I need to know about Glaive.
Well, he's a. Why am I blanking? He's a Goliath. Who's a paladin.
He's not a paladin.
Well, or not a paladin, or a cleric.
I mean, you can call a paladin, he'll take the compliment. You are the one who told me that he has bound your soul as well as Veil to the fiery depths that are hell. I'd like to know the nature of it. Did she disappear? Did I disappear?
I hear you.
I think
Okay.
she
I
vanished.
think she vanished from at least from Roll20.
Typical Elena.
What was your question? What was your question again?
Mine?
Yeah, what'd you say to her?
Oh, I said, I need to know the exact means that he is binding souls for Asmodeus.
My cat. Hit the power button on the
He's using a cat?
Your cat
Brilliant.
Any
turned
cat,
your computer
Elena's
off.
cat.
No one would have expected it.
That is hilarious.
Where the power button is, if she jumps on the top of my tower, just right, her back paw will hit the power button.
I'll pay you later, Lola.
Oh, that's.
So, okay. I told you that he was
Alright.
Goliath.
Yeah,
One
we've
sec.
got a distant Peggy.
I'm
Alright, you
sorry.
should be louder
Come
in my.
back.
I'm gonna turn you up on my end just so you can. Alright, speak.
Okay. Yeah, I told you that
Okay.
he was a cleric and a Goliath. What did you say after that?
you were the one who told me they had bound souls to a demon.
Yes.
Vale
As
has told
far
me
as
that
I'm aware of, it isn't done. Vale is actually the one who informed of my
As-
predicament, I guess you could say.
Vale
Glaive has
told
never
me
actually-
already. I'm sorry, I keep thinking you're done and then you start talking again.
Sorry.
Vale has told me that it is Asmodeus that you're bound for.
Am I aware if it's yeah, it's a right?
Depends
Or,
on who
no,
you're
I
asking.
don't know what demon it is, do I? Did Vale tell me what demon it was?
Did you, Vale?
I don't remember.
I don't think he did.
It's
'Cause
been
I
a real long
wrote it
time.
down. I don't think he
Yeah, I
did.
was back at level 5.
Ugh. That was like almost exactly a year ago.
No, because you told me recently, after we left Glaive. I've never actually heard the story from Glaive himself, so I don't think it's. I don't think I know.
I don't think I
what
did, because I
demon
think I was upset with Elena at the moment.
Right. Anyways. Now Elena has that tidbit of information.
Jeez.
And
As
Glaive,
far as I know, he might. Since I've never gotten to speak to him myself.
well, so far, from what Vale has told me, let me know when you're ready.
Cue 6 more months of brooding.
What did I miss?
Nothing.
Okay. So, what else do you need to know, Benedictus?
You went through the roster on that.
Yeah. I know your name. I'll figure it out.
You there, golden one.
In essence, from what Vale has told me, she does not know how many people Glaive has cursed. How many people have been marked. So there could be 10, it could be 1,000.
Yeah.
I need you to know that I will give him a chance. 1. And if he does not take it, then I will kill him. Because, good person or not, trying to be better or not, he is binding people for the lowest of hell. And I trust that a Derolo knows the difference. Friend. And whatever
Breaking.
the hell he is. I am?
A little bit.
No! No! I'm being dramatic!
He name dropped.
Okay, my
Sometimes-
connection looks like it's good.
It's just every once in a while.
Just speak a little louder. I think your sensitivity might be a little low.
Ah, okay. Go ahead.
Sometimes I think that you can make a friend out of a foe once you give them the chance.
I promised you and Vale 1.
Alright?
I'm going to talk to Lady Kima tomorrow to see if there's something about the whole blood.
You might also want to warn Sipala it may not endear you more to her, but she might wish-
Endearing or not, I have a purpose to the mortal coil of this entire plane.
I'm just saying it might be wise to warn her. It's your decision. Glaive is her best friend.
I want
I
you to
believe-
repeat those words and know how concerning that is. See, you're even laughing about it.
What is the note? What does that say, Kayla?
Said Bernie.
I can't read.
But it was backwards.
It
Wait,
is-
what?
She wrote.
She
Bernie
held up a
on
sign that said Bernie.
And then crumpled it up.
Oh, I missed that bit.
It could. It's weird. I think that she reminds him of his daughter that he lost.
He has a daughter?
Yes, and apparently he's also over 1,000 years old.
What? What?
He was alive before the Divine Gate was brought about. And he was caught in a snowstorm, and that was when he was cornered by this creature, and he made a deal, and he made a deal to save them, and it was not what he thought it was.
1,000 years old, made a deal with an otherworldly entity, marks souls for that otherworld entity. Is Glaive a lich?
No. I think when he made the deal, he was doing it to save those that he cared for, but he was lied to.
You honestly see Bernie with his hands, with his face in his thinking this through.
I believe that he can be redeemed, even if he did curse me.
Oh, Lady Kima's.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Oh, not because of this, because I'm gonna go talk to her now.
Oh.
If you're coming with me, you're coming with me.
I think it's. I don't know. From the stories that I've heard of Lady Kiva, I don't know how well she handled the news.
All right, does everybody vote for me to make this one short?
Yes.
Xavier is either nodding or bobbing his head to some really good music.
He's nodding.
Okay.
Why
This
not
one will
both?
just be Bernadette going to Lady Kima.
All right, you make your way around the Platinum Sanctuary. It's getting late. You go to knock on her door, and the door is actually open and ajar. And as you step in, she's not there. Make an investigation check.
Oh, not gonna be good.
She's already dead. Walked away for like 5 minutes.
That's a 6.
6. All right. You go around the Platinum Sanctuary a couple times, not able to find Lady Kima.
I'll find her in her office. Did I go to bed?
Okay. Anyone else have anything they wanted to do?
So I scry on Masuda
Oh
because
my
it's
God.
nighttime.
John!
No, I'll do it later.
Okay. Anyone got something they want to do tonight?
No.
All right. Whew. In the
I'll come
final,
back, I didn't mean it.
in the final bit of tonight's exposition off, which is what I've been only thinking of tonight as, because a lot of shit fan recently. Everyone goes to bed, has a restful night's sleep, with the exception of Elena.
Like, it's like everyone's just like,
Everybody gets
"Woo."
a turn on the nightmare machine.
So, Elena, as you toss and turn in bed, your evening filled with nightmarish images of your suspended, falling, strange, writhing tentacles crashing on zombie mushroom entities clawing, scratching, and gnawing their way at you as you just toss and turn tired. Eventually, wake up in a cold sweat. Look across your room and see. Good night, honey. Sorry. My wife's going to bed.
Good night, honey.
You make your way across the room where Thana is perched on the windowsill, and you kind of pet and stroke her head as you look out over the city of Vasselheim. As you turn and go back to bed, you hear the fluttering of wings behind you, and a kind of thud of boots hitting the ground behind you.
I turn around.
You turn around and see the shrouded of Vasselheim standing so. As you go to open your mouth and say something, he immediately rushes forward. Helena, there's not time. Do not trust a single word she says. He's... And immediately his form shifts back into Thana and comes falling down to the ground and begins like trying to right itself and get back to its wings. It seems to fill darkness, and where the was, so you now look up to see what you thought was a landscape, but are instead met the gleaming porcelain mask encompassing the entire windowsill, her cape fluttering breeze outside your window. And that's where we'll take tonight's break.
Oh, come on!
What is
Called it.
Dun
Ah.
dun dun.
Deceased.
All right, we'll be back in 10.
Yep. All right, 10
All
minutes.
right. See you in a little bit.
be very, very quiet.
We are shitheads.
Okay.
Alrighty then.
Okay. Alright.
Okay, so picking up where we left off, Elena Johanna von Musokolowski de Rollo is in her bedroom staring at the avatar of the Raven Queen. As a cold breeze flitters through the room, the voice echoes and fills. You hear, "Hello again, champ."
Hello.
Sorry.
You have done well for yourself.
Thank you.
Word of your exploits have reached me, and I see that you have saved.
Yes.
I told you to grow stronger, and you have. I have need of you.
Uh-huh.
There was a powerful artifact. Retrieved from-
You broke up there, Cal.
There was a powerful artifact retrieved by your body. I sensed it pass beyond the divine gate. It is more than. It contains spark chained up. My word! Always during the frickin'
Cutscenes.
cutscenes. Yeah,
Your shit's too heavy for the line, man.
I see that. Am I back? Am I back? Hello.
Yeah.
All right. Where did you lose me?
The beginning.
The artifact.
It is more than just an artifact. It is the spark of divinity, the chain.
Chained what?
Oblivion.
Okay, sorry. Okay.
And it must be destroyed. Bring it to my temple here, Vasselheim. Commune with me in the. Bring it.
Alright. I'll try.
Very well, my champion. Come. And with that, the shadows fade, and you're once again looking up to the.
Is Thana still like freaking out, or like is she
Yeah.
like okay?
Oh yeah,
I
Thana
like
is.
go and I hold her and I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Can I go to the infirmary and check on my parents just one more time?
Sure. So you run out of your room, make it down, still clutching Thana in your hands. You pass a couple of guards who are like, you slam open the infirmary door, and everything looks fine.
Are they alive? Are they awake? I just want them to be awake so bad.
They are alive, but they are not awake.
That's so mean. Okay, I guess I go to my bedroom.
As you go to your bedroom and drift back to trying to drift back to sleep, the last thing that enters your mind before oblivion takes you and you go into your slumber, Vaxeldon's voice fills your head once more and says, I told you to find me. Come to the place. I told you. And with
Where
that,
is that?
and then with that, you fall off to sleep. Okay. And morning breaks. Everyone awakens in the room and eventually convenes in the breakfast chamber, and the day is as you. So, who wants to do who?
I want to speak to everyone while they're at the table.
No.
Actually, before I get to the table, I want to enchant the bracelets a little bit more.
All right, roll your Arcana check or doodle.
Just no one went to the table.
This is the thing I did in the first thing in the morning. That is a 20.
90
modded.
90%.
Damn it, so close.
Look, you mean it.
So,
One more day.
as everyone goes downstairs to breakfast, Elena is ecstatically waiting for everyone.
Oh,
No,
God.
not that. Just like
Not like this.
Not like this.
Okay, not
like
ecstatically
this.
waiting for everyone.
just stressed waiting.
Stressfully waiting for everybody.
And then everyone arrives, and Elena has the floor.
Didn't I?
What did you say? So,
Good words.
Got her.
I was visited by the Raven Queen last night.
Okay.
You tell.
She wants me to bring the orb to her to destroy it. It's collected. It's the divine spark of the chain oblivion.
Okay.
No. We have to save Grog first.
I know that.
Well, we don't currently have the power to get to where she is, so...
There's a temple here that she said to commune with her with. Also, I was visited by my uncle last night as well.
Who?
My uncle, Vasselheim.
She's crazy.
Ah.
How did he get here? This is a very far away way from where we live.
He's dead, and he's actually my raven. And I point at Tana.
I'll go up and feel in his forehead. Is she okay?
Make a medicine check.
Oh, you weren't in the temple. No, nobody saw what I saw. Never mind.
No one was in the room where it happened.
I want to be in the room
19.
where it happened. She's a little cold and clammy, but doesn't have a fever.
He told me
She's probably okay.
to find him and to meet him. But that place is where my mother and him almost, or my father and him almost lost my mother. Do I still not know where this place is? I can't remember if I ever got to ask my dad.
Yeah, you never did get to ask your dad.
Ugh.
Oh, that reminds me.
And I don't know where that place is.
Doris, did I pay you?
What's up? I am stressed right now. Come here, kitty.
Don't you meow at me, answer me.
Well, is that place maybe somewhere that Lady Kima might?
Say what? Or Lady Kima?
Yeah, maybe she knows.
Maybe. Do I see Lady Kima in the hall?
Not immediately.
Can I look for Lady Kima?
Make an investigation check.
No, seriously, Doris, did I pay you yet for the bounty?
I don't remember.
Do you have any platinum on you?
Yeah.
Let me find my paperwork.
That would be a modded 20.
Okay, so as you're looking around the meeting hall, or the eating hall, you do not see Lady Kima. However, as you poke your head out into the hallway, you do hear what sounds to be like someone exercising in one of the various training rooms. And as you kind of you see Lady Kima wearing kind of long trousers, bare midriff, and her chest wrapped. She's getting on in age, probably in later 60s, if not early 70s, but you see her heavily toned halfling physique, and she is in full spar with Platinum Guard. And as you come around the corner, she grabs him by the arm and just flings him over her shoulder, and he goes crashing. She brushes off her hands. Ah, Elena, you for a morning walk out?
No, but I do have a question for you.
Can it wait till after training?
It's kind of important.
All right, Gregor, kick Liam's ass. She steps out of the ring. What's up?
So I know that you are friends with my parents and my uncle and them.
Uh-huh.
So I've had visions of my uncle recently.
Visions.
Yes.
Okay.
And he's telling me to meet him where my mother and him, or my father and him, almost lost my mother, and I can't ask my parents where this is.
For obvious reasons.
Do you happen to know where this place might be?
Yeah, your parents, well, your uncle looked for it, God, 30 years ago? What was that? He had to seek out the previous champion, champion by the name of Pervon?
The Raven Queen's champion.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just outside Vasselheim. Not too far.
Do you happen to know the location of this place? Like, in what direction it is?
I'll be honest, I didn't go with them on that adventure. You would probably have to check with the Temple of the Raven Queen, maybe, to find out where the tombs.
Okay, great, yeah, Temple of the Raven Queen, great. So exciting.
I mean, other than that, you could check with, check with any of the other, I lost the word, high priests around here. They might be able to know where the tombs of champions are, but your best bet would be Raven Queen's champion. Check with Raven Queen. Why? What's wrong with the Temple of the Raven Queen?
I'm just that I'm the new champion of the Raven Queen.
You're what?
No, what? What?
She puts her both hands on her face. I knew this family was going to be trouble.
I don't know what
That wasn't even English.
This. Tiberius, you're speaking Draconic.
Okay, so you know
You
that
could also just wait for your parents to wake up.
I just don't know how long that's going to be. And
Well, I mean,
Raven
that's
Queen wants me to destroy that orb that we found. It's the spark of divinity for the chained oblivion. And my uncle tells me not to trust the Raven Queen.
her jaw has now dropped.
Yeah. So I'm kind of like an impasse here. I'm like, what I should do.
I'm sorry. The spark of divinity for who?
The chained oblivion?
I heard you say that. I just didn't believe it.
Done.
Yeah. And she wants me to destroy it.
All right, Elena, walk with me, will you?
Yeah, totally, yeah.
So she takes you by the hand, and she leads you out, and she takes you down the hallway. She takes you to where your parents are. And as she steps into the room, one of the clerics that's in there,
Lady Kima's gonna out me. I know it. I can feel it.
Lady Kima, like, kind of pats you on the hand, and she, like, nods the cleric over, and she goes, okay, I need you to check and make sure she's not cursed or possessed, and do your thing and make sure she's okay. And she like she lets go of your hand, turns around, and closes the door behind you.
Did she walk out of the room, or is she still in the room?
Nope, she walked right out of the room.
Okay.
So the cleric cleric puts up both hands. He's like, you see before you kind of a short humanoid male, really skinny, wearing kind of like a long white symbol of Bahamut on the center of his chest and the holy symbol. He's like, okay, come with me. Yep, okay, you're okay. You're okay. Sit on this bed. Come over here. Sit down.
Let's sit down.
Okay. So he picks up the holy symbol, kind of mutters under his breath a couple times. The symbol flashes with a white light. No. All right. I think you are probably having a mental break. You're under a lot of stress.
Yeah.
You're just gonna lay here.
Okay.
You're gonna rest. I'm gonna tell Lady Kima that you should just relax and just need some time to get your thoughts together and heal from this emotional endeavor that is clearly taking a toll on you. So you stay here, and you'll be taken care of.
Out in the
And-
main hall.
What was that?
She said we were gonna go shopping, and she stood me up.
All right. So Elaine, are you gonna stay in bed?
No, I'm gonna get up.
He turns around. Whoa, 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 whoa! No, no, no.
Shocking.
Back
no
in bed.
one.
Back in bed.
All right. Am I at least near my parents?
Oh yeah, they're right across from you.
Okay, I'm just gonna sit here, I guess.
Back in.
So they're gonna wake up and have a mental break too.
You need to rest. You need to rest. You are safe here. All right. So, unless Elena, unless you are planning to do some form of sneaking out from his watch or knocking him out or something, are you going to stay here?
I'm gonna stay here for like maybe an hour and then attempt to sneak out.
All right. So let's switch to everyone else. What are you guys doing?
I can't believe she stood me up.
But what are you guys gonna do?
We're gonna go shopping.
Huh?
We got a new city to explore.
That's true.
I need a new dagger because I may have thrown mine in the abyss.
Yeah, you did actually.
I realized that like Wednesday. I was like, oh shit.
I hand in one of my spare daggers, or hand her one of my spare daggers. I mean,
Oh well.
I have a spare one.
There's me some time and money. Thanks.
No problem.
Still, it's worth taking a
nothing
look around.
special about it.
There wasn't really anything special about the one I threw. Except it's in the abyss now.
Do
So.
you think Elena's going to be?
I don't know. Let's ask.
No.
I've been
Elena,
asking myself that since Whitestone.
Well, I mean, I think we've all been asking that, but
I've been
I
asking.
mean, this sounds like pretty serious.
I think it might be worth hitting up the Raven Queen Temple and potentially telling her to back off Elena. She's basically a child.
basically a child.
Wait, who? The Raven Queen?
Man,
or...
I felt that.
Elena is basically a child.
What is today, Cal?
Friday.
Actually, today would be the 11th.
Saturday.
Hey.
It is Saturday.
Let me just mark that on my character sheet.
It's his birthday.
I leveled up.
Da, 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 da.
You say that out loud?
What?
Do we say that out loud?
It's
my birthday. I leveled up.
No, I mean I don't mention it. I just try to think of what the day is, and I just eventually go. Oh. That's about it.
Did somebody say my name?
No.
No, I never get around to doing that. Everybody else talked.
Where'd you go?
Lady Kiva took me to the infirmary. She thinks
Wait, has it been an hour already?
No, we're at
No, this is telecommunication.
I'm still
Oh.
yeah, here. You can't see us, but we're pressing our ears.
You just
know
got a
we were
line to
doing
the
it.
outside.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm in the infirmary currently because Lady Kima thought I was having a mental breakdown, or that I was cursed or possessed or something.
Wait, don't you have a mental breakdown like every other day?
Screw you two, Xavier.
I mean, it's true.
So does that mean you're not coming, or
No. I'm gonna sneak out. Don't worry. I need to find some information.
what?
Elena, suddenly the cleric kind of comes over. Okay, talking to yourself is not a good sign. Please
Pull off
lay
the
back.
earring and say this is a magical good.
Okay, yes it is.
Communication device.
Yes it
Lets
is.
you
Of
hear the
course it is.
voices. I get it.
I get it. Yeah, of course. Now just lay down and rest. You can't be resting if you're laying there talking about sneaking out. I'm watching you. You're okay. Just go to sleep.
How long are you gonna be?
I like cover my mouth. I don't know. Hopefully, maybe an hour more.
I mean, We only walked away about 10 minutes ago.
I have a clue. Does somebody want to come distract the people?
Let us know when you're out.
I'll come get you.
Probably use some rest.
I'm gonna go find the
Oh,
infirmary.
okay.
Actually, this might be good for her.
See, that's what I said.
I think so too.
Let me see here.
Hey, Xavier, how about you come with us?
I like stop halfway. I don't know. She seems dead set on going shopping.
Yes, you can join us.
Well, I don't know when she's gonna get out. Might as well just get her now.
Yeah, there's no telling how long they'll keep her.
I'm gonna go to the infirmary.
On the bright side, if she's here, she won't miss her parents waking up.
Sure.
I'm trying to see one thing real quick.
Dang it, Edgar! Your little toy.
Jumping out of reach.
A toy like
There's
that.
nothing I can do.
He really
Jeez,
likes
wow.
that toy.
I'm really surprised right now.
Why?
Clerics don't get the sleep spell.
Really?
I also
Yeah.
am immune to
Magical sleep.
magical sleep.
As
But
I
he
found,
doesn't
You
know.
get a whole
Well,
person.
What was that?
You get a whole person.
Help me! I'm pinned to this bed magically.
I mean, there is planar binding.
Oh,
Um,
that won't restrict their physical movements though. They can still move move throughout
oh
the
yeah,
plane.
that's true. Anyway, no, I was like, can you put her to sleep? Because if he can put her to sleep, that's what he's gonna do.
Well, there's
But
always
anyway.
the old-fashioned method.
Magical sleep.
Physical sleep.
Okay, you'll wake up with a dull pain in your head. Takes out Great Club.
This won't hurt a bit.
I mean, you won't feel it at first. Boom.
Anyway, so Xavier, you come down the hallway toward the infirmary. You see the door is closed, and two guards are actually stationed on the outside of the door.
May I enter?
Yeah. They kind of open the door for you.
Yeah.
I'm getting the fucking the monk frog flashback.
Right?
Yep.
I miss them.
I walk in. Is she like immediately right there? Is she like down a ways?
It's down a little bit, maybe 3 or 4 beds. Her parents are off to the left, and she's kind of laying in the bed as the cleric's kind of trying to push her back down a little bit. She keeps trying to sit up, and he keeps kind of haphazardly pushing her forehead back down onto the bed.
Excuse me. What seems to be going on?
Thank you. This woman is having severe anxiety, mental break perhaps, needs to rest, and she is not listening.
Have you ever had a mental breakdown?
Personally, no. I've seen many of them, though.
Then you know she's not going to get to rest easily.
Well, do you have a suggestion to help her rest?
Yeah. Comes with us.
I don't think getting up and moving will help her fall asleep.
She doesn't need sleep.
Works on my cat.
She needs something to get her mind off of things.
What are you? Are you related to her?
Not by blood, but we become a sort
Are you
of
her?
family.
Are you her husband?
No.
Well, I can't have you. I can't check patients out under another person, you know. So unless her immediate family can come let her out.
I look over at the
He's
her
my
beds.
fiance. Let's go.
Make a deception check with disadvantage.
Dang it.
Please tell me right then is when Vex and Percy wake up.
That'd be great.
Nope.
Xavier doesn't even get to say what, and has an arrow in his throat.
That would be a 9.
9?
I want them to wake up just for that and then pass back out.
they hear her say just that and just.
You
Like their
swear,
eyes.
you see their eyes twitching.
Percival just flings out like his gun at you.
Is this
Manners.
what is this cleric? Is he just like a human?
It looks like just human, simple white robe.
I'm guessing he didn't believe the lie.
He looks back at you. Of course, he's your fiance. Pats you on the forehead.
Jeez.
Oh, actually, nope. I take that back. He kind of starts to say that, and just kind of looks at the two of you, and like the kind of awkward conversation the two of you are having, and so he kind of leans over to Xavier. So she's always like this.
She's a handful.
I heard
Kinda-
that.
Pats you on the back. Pats you on the back. Have fun with that, and walks away.
Screw you.
Come on, let's.
I rolled a 4 on his.
Let's go,
Get that out of
dear.
here.
I just grab her by the arm and start pulling her.
Burn in
You-
daylight.
Yep, you two walk out of the infirmary.
Okay, so we speak to no one about that, and I will walk. I just keep walking.
Let's hope that my parents weren't awake for that.
Did they seem awake?
You'd have to make an investigation check.
Oh, nah, fuck it. Well, everyone's waiting at the entrance. Let's go.
Alright. Also, I found out where that place my uncle spoke about.
Okay, let's tell that to everybody at once. So we arrive.
Finally. Come on, burn in daylight.
All right.
Side
So where are
note,
you guys going?
Oh no.
Side note.
I possibly found out where that place that my uncle told me to go. It's the crypt of the first champion, and it's near Vasselheim. I
That's
just need
good.
to find the location.
Does it have a name?
Not that I'm aware of.
Well, maybe on this
Maybe
shopping,
tell me?
maybe on this shopping trip we can stop by the temple, see if they possibly know where that is.
Mhm.
I thought you were gonna say stop at every vendor and see if they know where it is.
Oh, stop at the temple.
Maybe they turned it into a museum.
Maybe
want-
we'll run into one of Victor's grandkids. That's a Peggy note.
That's
not
funny
a-
thinking Victor had grandkids.
Fun fact:
Sure.
Matt Mercer did say he had family.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wonder if the crater where his house was still there.
It's been 30 years. Somebody definitely built a house over
That's why
it.
I'm curious.
I don't know. Maybe he turned into a lich.
Yeah, it was also a gunpowder mine.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh no! According to Matt Mercer, that place blew.
Yeah, he probably like leveled the block.
I think Matt Mercer, what he said was when
There's a
the
distant
when the
explosion.
cultists came into Vasselheim, he said, "You'll never take me alive," and blew up the whole thing.
Yeah, he even mentioned that
Yeah.
there was a distant boom and explosion while they
Yep.
were fighting.
Yep.
I can't wait to hear that again.
Alright, let's go shopping.
So, where are we going?
I want a dagger.
Let's do like a lap of the city ish.
What
I
is
guess.
it with you and daggers?
I
So
have a odd obsession of collecting
I'll
daggers.
stay.
It runs in the family.
So the first section, as you come out of the Platinum Sanctuary, you are in Silver Talon's Reach, which is the area worshipping Bahamut. There's a great giant staircase coming down, known as Heaven's Stair, which, well, actually, it's the mountain that bisects the portion of Vasselheim and looks over the entirety of the city. And the Silver Talon's Reach sits darkened by the shadow of the peak. Around, you see a lot of people making a pilgrimage to the Platinum Sanctuary. A lot of people wearing paladin-esque, their heads bowed, walking through the streets in meditation and prayer. There's a few shops here and there, but they are mostly armor, weapons, holy symbols. You would be welcome to stop in at any one if you'd like. Continue on to the next. Yeah.
As we're out, I would like to find. As I'm about to say this, I realize we're in a fucking town that doesn't do arcane magic, but possibly a shop that would possibly buy that manual of Golem.
Okay, make an investigation.
While he does that, I want to find a pretty sharp, beautiful dagger.
You can only find
Or
one of those
two.
things.
No, I
Pretty,
want to
sharp,
be
or
sharp.
beautiful.
Sharp and pretty.
All right, and you make an investigation as well.
27.
27. All right. So starting with Xavier, you find a small bookshop in the Platinum Sanctuary area. It's kind of a crooked-looking building. It seems to have undergone renovations several times, not quite been put back together properly. It looks like it may have been even damaged long ago and repaired, never quite properly. The shop is a 2-story building of stone walls with several leaded glass windows. As you come in, the air is filled with the scent of ancient tome scroll. At the end of the room, you see a tall halfling male, probably about 5 foot, maybe.
Oh,
Damn.
that's really tall for a halfling.
Halfling.
How tall?
5'4".
God, that's
Holy
not a
That is
half.
a tall
That's not a.
halfling.
That's not a halfling. That's a fucking
He's
3/4
faking
one.
it.
That's a human.
That's 2 halflings stacked on top of each other.
Wearing a trench coat.
He's very lanky and tall. His arms are very long, wearing
Where's the
round
part human part?
round spectacles. And as you walk in, he looks up at you. Ah, come in. What can I do for you today, sir?
Yes. Hello. I
And-
have. Go ahead.
The walls in here also, you see there are many scrolls adorning baskets and shelves, and kind of laid out on the table. He even seems to be writing, and you recognize he is writing magical scrolls as you come in. You see opponents, the fine ink and the fine paper that he's writing on the counter. Sorry.
Yeah. No, you're good. Yes. I have come across a rather fine piece of literature. It is a manual of Golem.
Oh,
I
dark magic.
I have not the finance or the time to, or materials for that matter, to properly use this. So maybe it could help fuel other endeavors of mine. Just need to find the right buyer.
Flipping through a book to find the price of an item, because they can't obviously list it in a good way. First
That
of
might
all,
be too easy.
Now, of course, if you had D&D Beyond, you could find that
No.
so easily.
It's a
So easily.
it's a very rare item.
there we go. Let's
6 gold.
shops. Open my shops note. Very rare.
Exactly 1 pretty dagger.
It's
But
not
it's
very
not sharp.
It's not
It's a
sharp.
little pointy at the tip.
Ooh.
For that,
Literal.
for that item, for that item right there, I will give you 200 platinum.
Take it.
All right. Could I, before we complete that trade, could I look around a bit?
Oh
very,
yes,
It's a very
yes,
intriguing
more than
place
welcome,
you have
more
here.
than welcome, more than welcome, more than welcome.
I'll take a look around, see if anything tickles my fancy.
Okay.
My fancy.
I'm a little skeptical because one of these spells I have written down I don't recognize as a spell, but I'll assume gotta love random generators.
Right.
So,
Roll.
make your investigation.
Roll high.
Natural 20, so 29.
29. All right.
Thank
So,
you, Kraken die.
you do see going around that all the scrolls in here are divine magic. Every one of them. You find a scroll of neutralize poison, hallow, Lesser Restoration,
Alright.
She left me.
Dispel Magic,
Ooh. Wait, I think that comes with. It's in that book.
and one that catches your eye that I've never seen as a spell before: Hide from Animals.
Oh.
That's a
I-
3-5.
That's a 3.5.
Oh. Ooh.
Yeah.
I like how
Wow.
specific that is.
Right? Like, it doesn't, you don't even need a description for it because obviously you hide from animals.
I know, right?
Aliens, right? It's weird. That's a great way to hide the spell.
Okay, after taking a look around, I'll ask him, do you have,
It's a
fine collection you have here? Make them all yourself.
Oh, yes, I do. Yes, I do.
To make these, you must have, material components. Do you possibly have, magical chalk?
That's for my private collection. Yes, I do. What do you need What do you need chalk?
Well, obviously I'm not going to do within here in the city, but, it's a quick way of travel, a teleportation circle.
Forbidden magic in the city. Yes.
Yes,
I do have the chalk. I do have the chalk you're looking for. But being a black market item, it'll cost you extra.
How much extra?
100 platinum.
Ooh. That is
I could get
extra.
in trouble for having. Not supposed to have it. But with the
Alright.
manual of golems here that you're looking to sell, we could put that toward the price. So I will only give you 100 platinum for the manual. Take the 100.
I appreciate the information. I think I'll wait. We are headed out not too long. It's not an immediate need that I need the chalk, so. But
Very well.
I appreciate the offer.
I realized my mistake, by the way.
But
My the shop generator I was using was on 3.5.
oh, okay.
This is old magic.
Oh, magic.
Nobody
Man,
uses
Man, I
that
feel like a
anymore.
wizard now.
Old magic.
Well, you must have for doing all the scribing. You must have paper and the ink to do so.
I do.
Would you be able to spare a bit of that?
Yes.
Um,
Pulls out a couple sacks, couple vials from underneath.
How much? Can you get about? Do you have about? Let's say, 300 gold's worth.
So if I remember correctly, it is typically 100 gold in parchment and ink, correct?
It's
One spell.
For one spell level, it's 50 gold worth of paper and ink.
Gotcha. 50 gold. That's what it is. Okay, so for 300 gold.
Depending on the spell, it should give me quite a few. Should give me.
He pulls up just enough paper to make 3 spells with.
3 spells worth.
Yep, for 300. And so normally it would be 6 spells for 300 gold, but he pulls up enough for 3.
Okay. A little.
He's marking it up.
Okay. Sorry, the way you said that confused me for just a moment.
It's
I
double
get
the
it now.
price.
I get it now. Okay. I think I'll just trade the book.
Suit yourself.
All right. Take the 200 platinum.
He hands over a small satchel of platinum pieces and takes the book from you and begins like rifling pages. Oh yes.
I will take the platinum out. I have all my money in my satchel. In my handy
And-
haversack. Thank you, good sir.
Yes. Have a great day. He hasn't taken his eyes off the manual.
Has he walked around the entire time I've been in here?
Nope.
Okay. I will slowly walk out.
Don't break
Hold
eye
on.
contact.
For my investigation on a dagger, pretty and sharp, I got a 28.
28. All right.
I should also list affordable.
Okay, easy killer.
All right, also, you are in Vasselheim right now in the Platinum Sanctuary District. So you make your way through around and eventually in the Silver's Talon. Unless you're going, are you leaving the Silver Talon?
Yeah.
Okay, what district do you want to go into? Look.
I'm gonna look, but then like make my way to the Raven Queen district.
All right, so on your way to the Raven Queen district, you make your way to the Braving Grounds district, and in here is where worshippers of this priesthood are warriors of Dawn's Fist. And as you go through, you see there are many blacksmiths, forges, and armor. It appears to be the majority of the weapons are made here. And as you're going with a 28 investigation, you see this beautiful platinum dagger that's elegant and long with a wavy curved Arabian style blade that goes up into a ergonomic handle. The handle appears to be made out of a kind of purposefully tarnished that contrasts white platinum blade, which has a Damascus pattern throughout its metallurgy, and it's encrusted with gems such along.
I look at it and I inspect it.
It is a gorgeous dagger.
Is the smith around? I'm assuming that this is probably gonna be far too expensive for me.
Yeah. So you glance around, and eventually you do see the blacksmith who is currently hammering some metal on the anvils. But you saw blacksmithing in Singorn that was beautiful. You've seen blacksmithing other places that was beautiful. This guy is plying into this trade all kinds of skills, from woodworking to metallurgy to leatherwork and everything. He's putting every single craftsmanship into each and every one himself. Kind of a portly man, about 6 foot tall, great big beer gut, long bushy brown beard, and bald head on top.
I yell over, sir.
Hello, little lady.
I have a few questions for you.
Yeah, what can I do for you?
How much for this beautiful dagger?
Comes around the anvil, still holding the hammer in one hand, and kind of extends the hand toward you to have you hand the dagger toward him.
Hand it to him.
He flips it around.
Oh, yeah, this one. Let me turn to the right page here.
It's probably far too expensive.
$1 million gold.
Am I in the right book? Hold on, I'm confused here. Hold on one second. Your DM is confused.
It's chill. I'm always confused.
Your DM hurt itself in confusion.
Good reference.
Oh, there it is.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, this is a special dagger for you. It's actually enchanted.
Hmm.
This is known as a dagger of warning.
Interesting.
So it'll run you.
Where'd my other book go that had my prices in it? You guys make me go through too many notes at once.
5 platinum pieces.
Really?
Yeah.
I paid the man the 5 platinum pieces.
Pay the man.
yeah.
Don't even argue. I paid.
He twirls the dagger in his hands, and with a strange finesse in a solid motion, puts it in its bejeweled sheath.
Pleasure doing business with you.
Does he got anything? Is there any other like really kind of cool, like kind of more subtle daggers, if you know what I mean?
Looking around here, everything in this particular shop is gorgeously ornate.
Okay. can I look around for more subtle daggers that, like, in other shops?
Okay, so you're gonna leave. Do you want me to tell you what you just got?
Yes, sorry.
All right. Before that, you got a
Not a dagger of warning.
You did. It's a dagger of warning.
Oh.
This magic weapon. Oh wait. Yeah, I was gonna tell you. It warns you of danger while you are attuned to it. You have advantage on initiative rolls.
Ooh.
In addition, you and any of your companions within 30 feet cannot be surprised except when incapacitated by something other than non-magic sleep.
Ooh.
The weapon will magically awaken you and your companions within range if any of you are sleeping naturally when combat begins.
Nice.
Pretty cool.
All right. Nice.
I find it weird that that's an uncommon item.
Yeah, right. I was like, oh god, this is gonna be so expensive.
Watch it just be the most annoying alarm clock. Like a mosquito bites her, wakes everyone up.
I wish you had-
It's under attack. No, calm down. It's just a mosquito.
I wish you hadn't said that because I was actually thinking it.
I want it to just go, Elena.
Like it
Yeah, where's the snooze button on
and,
this
like,
thing?
It knows the
Like Stewie from Family Guy. Mama, mommy,
Mom,
mama.
Mom, hello. What?
What?
Hi.
Hi.
Oh my god, that's what I do.
But it's the voice of the most annoying person they know.
Her brother?
Jakar?
Oh, Jakar.
No.
Stipala.
Okay, I just want to look for some more daggers, and then if I don't find them or whatnot, I want to make my way to the.
Just the middle of the night. Elena.
God.
Elena.
That's fucking creepy.
Jesus.
Elena.
Oh god.
That or it'd be check, what would check?
It's just
Elena. Elena.
Oh god. Yeah, I think that's worse.
We're done.
Oh!
We're done. We're done. We're
Claire
moving.
didn't know it yet, but she'd soon live to regret this decision.
Oh.
No, we're moving on. Holy shit.
That was funny.
Oh god.
It's funny because the transaction was already made.
Anyway, so make another investigation. Well, we'll come back to you looking for another weapon. Anyone else doing anything else? Xavier went there. Elena went there. Vale, you're shopping.
Did anyone want to go look for books with me?
I'll go with you.
Okay. Then I figured I would see if I could find a Temple to Serenray afterwards.
Okay.
Oh, I'd like to come along.
Okay.
I guess
All
I'll
right.
stay behind with Elena. Unless she's going too.
Y'all could go on
I figured you two had already split off and done your thing. Okay, I just went. Magic! Dagger! Oof, gone. Okay.
Magic dagger gone.
Alright, so yeah, I'd like to look for books.
All right. Let me see here. Make an investigation check.
This ought to go poorly. Alright, roll for tourism.
Guys, I can either use my dexterity or my strength because the dagger has the finesse property.
You mean like literally every dagger?
Duh.
Okay. Just making sure. Sorry. 16.
16. All right. Eventually, as you're going through, let me see which district this would be in.
district.
Or the temple, whichever one's closer.
All right. Eventually, you make your way to the Birth Heart. In this, oh no, not the Birth Heart. That makes no sense. The Quad Roads. All right. So you make your way through the Quad Roads of Vasselheim. Is kind of where all roads meet in the center, dedicated to Arathis and the Holy Paramours. Immediately to your left, you see a building that has a kind of haphazard wooden sign that says "The Slayers Take Guild." And next to it, across the street, see a small bookshop that doesn't have a title yet. Because I
That's
wasn't
where I'd
expecting.
put my bookshop.
Because I wasn't expecting.
Aww.
I wasn't anticipating a bookshop.
We can come back to it
It
later
could
if
just
you
be
want.
No,
called
you're good.
bookshop.
You're good.
Okay.
You're good. So, as
Call
you
it
enter,
bookshop.
as you enter, it's a modest bookshop, and it doesn't appear to have much in the way of traffic. The shelves are neatly organized, very meticulously put together, and as you come in, a young human woman in a dusty brown apron, her hair pulled back, large spectacles on her face. Oh, hello, how are you doing today?
I'm good.
What brings you in today?
Well, I was looking for some books.
Oh, I say you found some. Looking for anything in particular?
Oh boy. I'm trying. What do you have in the way of fiction?
Ooh, what kind of fiction you looking for? You looking for adventure, drama,
Test Club
horror,
2. Test Club
romance?
2, the story continues.
Just a variety.
A variety. Popular right now between ladies like you and me. There is Colleague of Passion, just came out a couple weeks ago.
Old Doris and Zapala are here too. What was the title?
Sorry, I lost you after I look.
Oh. I just thought it was funny. Eldoris and Sapala are also here.
Yeah, we're like, at least Doris is like staring, like, who is this person?
There's also Bound to My Past.
What's that about?
Oh, it's about a woman that's well, a little tied up.
Ah, I see. What else?
Oh,
If you're
well,
just gonna
there's
go on.
Spider and Buffoon. That one's about a dark elf and a monkey. You want me to go through the title of every book on these shelves? Fairy of Hope, Mage Without Haste, Thieves and Demons, Necromancers of Utopia, Goblins and Sages, Dragons and Trees, Termination with Silver, Anger and the Dagger, Helping of the Heavens, Reach of the Void. I can keep going.
Ooh, I heard dragons and trees.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
What's that about? Apart from
That one-
dragons and trees.
That one's a children's novel about a green dragon that descends on a village and is stopped by the druids.
How much for that
Yay.
one?
Oh, that's a pop-up book, so it's about 5 silver.
50
Pop-up
platinum.
book. It's a pop-up book.
Wait,
Sure, I'll
what?
grab that. I will grab that and hand that to Sapala.
He's probably like
You
jumping with
probably-
glee with that one.
That's
Bought
great.
me a pop-up book.
I bought her a pop-up book. Why would I do
Do
that?
that.
I'm so excited. I'm
You
gonna read
said,
it to Glaive.
No.
What was I missed most of that slew of titles. That was like
He
He
shotgun
just
Daphne.
likes hearing you say it.
Fairy of Hope, Mage Without Hate, Thieves of Demons, Necromancers of Utopia, Goblins and Sages, you already purchased Dragons and Trees, Termination with Silver, Anger of the Dagger, Helping the Heavens, Reach of the How many of these am I reading?
All right, you know what'd be funny? Let's get Anger of the Dagger.
Elena.
What were those last two books you just listed?
Why don't you say my name, Caitlin?
Helping the Heavens and Reach of the Void.
Dagger.
What are those about?
Helping the Heavens is a religious book about devotion to one's patronage and leading a pious life. And Reach of the Void is a tale about the abyss and its denizen.
I would like to buy those 2 books.
Those 2 being non-fiction are going to cost you a little more, 1 gold piece each.
Done.
How much was the book? Just
5 silver.
do you have change?
She does give you change for whatever.
Excellent.
Do you have anything on unicorn?
Anything on unicorns? Well, interesting. She kind of goes. She turns around and begins rummaging. Oh, sorry, not sure I have much on those.
Okay. Do you have any giant books?
Boy, you have interesting interests.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm afraid I don't have much on that either. Not many giants
Okay.
near Vasselheim.
Didn't you lead with bound by something?
Bound by the Past, I believe it was called. You said you were looking for anything. Bound to my past.
That's true. Did you find anything, Spella?
No. She didn't have any.
Okay. Is there anything else anyone wants here?
I keep reading every title off these shelves if you want.
It's tempting, but if I think we're all set for now.
Oh, okay, thank you.
A book.
Yes, you did, Gary.
That's funny.
I'm actually kind of excited.
I'm kind of excited to write this pop-up.
Please just make a pop-up book.
He reads it to his child.
I wish I could make a pop-up book.
Alright, it'll work out. Alright,
Alright.
So yeah, Temple District after that, I guess. Or
All right.
Serenade
Which
Temple?
Serenray? All right. Make an.
That's
well,
my
you
goal.
make an investigation check.
Oh boy. Let's use my cleric die.
I'm going to actively help
Okay.
look for this temple because I'm interested
advantage.
in it.
I will add my pike die. Someone's gotta know what this is, right? Oh good, pike knows where it is. 16.
16. All right. Actually, not too far away from the quad roads, you enter the braving grounds. Actually, trying to find where the Temple of Serenray is. You can't seem to find on any of the tourist maps or anything like that an entire district of Serenray. However, as you're going through the braving grounds, you see a bit of a depression in the ground, and as you kind of follow it, you see an area that looks to have been excavated from the ground around the braving grounds. It looks like a temple has been in this corner of Vasselheim, finding a lost temple that has been subsequently cleared out, and you now see pilgrims making their way into the Temple of Serenray. It's a modest yet beautiful temple, and you find it because I don't remember how Matt Mercer described it.
Me neither. So you're doing great.
Doing great. All right. I know it was down a hill, so. So you make your way down inside the temple. It's got marble white walls that come up, lots of pillars entering. What would you like to do?
Well, I don't know about you two, but my intent was to pray for a little bit. Maybe see if I could find some more info on this deity that I am now serving.
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
I recently found out some things, kind of whoever she is.
I'll just kind of stand in the back.
It's like being
Oldores.
an actual church.
Oldores.
Yes.
I would like you to make a religion check.
Oh boy. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. 5.
5. Thing. All right, people.
I don't know.
I said you guys continue your role playing.
Oh, no one
Oh,
heard
Did not
that.
hear this.
definitely did not hear that.
Oh, sorry. Must have cut out.
Cal, we're praying. Just very quietly. I'm texting you something, Cal. If you want to go
Oh.
do something else.
Actually, as a matter of fact, Vale, there is something that happens here.
Oh shit. Well, then I will hold
You
off.
did you text me yet?
Not yet.
Oh. As you go to the front of the temple and kneel down in front of the altar and kind of begin your prayers, you begin to feel a around your hands. It grows stronger and seems to fill you with energy, and your wraps have awakened.
I guess that answers that question.
Wow, that was incredibly easy.
Yeah, I'll be fair. I did not think you were just gonna walk right in and do that.
Me neither. I'll tell you after the game what I was gonna do.
Flabbergasted.
Well,
Bonus.
I guess I suppose I shouldn't have made the awaken condition go to the Sarenrae temple and pray to the person who's a Sarenrae person.
well, clearly Sarenrae wants me to beat the crap out of Eldora, so come here.
What? No.
That's the message I'm.
That's the message I'm
How will
understanding
fucking
here.
mess you up?
Yeah, I know. I'm kidding.
I'm not confrontational. I'm sorry.
Don't worry, Doris, I got you.
All right. Yeah, I will. Spend however long these two are comfortable with here.
Uldoris will find a kind of a spot away from everybody, and he's just gonna spend a little bit of time quietly thinking about everything that was revealed to him the night before, and he just says, I'm not very familiar with you. Perhaps I should be. But I felt it appropriate to at least say thank you. So thank you for everything you've done. It may not seem like much, but to me it was a lot. Everything in a way. Maybe someday I can find a way to make it up to you.
Paula, you're with them, correct?
Huh?
So, Paula, you're with them, correct?
Yeah, I'm just kind of awkwardly standing in the back.
Make a perception check.
That's the
Swag.
spirit.
Continue, Uldoris.
That was it.
Okay.
He gets quiet after that, and he kind of leans against the wall a little bit in just quiet. I can't say quiet well. Quiet reverence.
He's
Yeah,
supposed-
I was saying quiet
You
with
said
an N.
perception check, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Words are hard. As I demonstrated right there.
Quiet.
That's a
I almost said
23.
words are heard.
23, perfect. As everyone in this room has their heads bowed and their eyes closed in prayer, Eldorus has slinked off into a dark of the temple and has closed his eyes and begun to mutter on breath or in his head, either way, and say a prayer. And you watch as he says this prayer, the darkness that he's standing in seems to brighten slightly. And as he continues speaking, the area that had been cast completely in shadow is now completely lit, and his shadow stands in contrast to the rest of the room, as if it absorbed, soaked up the entirety of the darkness in the air, only light by. And as Eldora, no one else in this room sees this, everyone else has their head bowed, reverence and prayer. And as Eldora finishes, he opens his eyes, the darkness goes back to normal. He doesn't even notice himself.
Oh my god.
I love Kill's reaction.
I do believe in spooks. I do believe in spooks.
The spooks are real.
Yeah, my back was to that. I didn't see anything. I did want to see if I don't want to talk to anyone, but I want to see if I can. Is it like a pamphlet or something on like proper like ways
Pamphlet?
to?
Make an investigation check.
Oh shit.
Gee, Kayla, it's like those pamphlets that you found in your church. That was like the comics that like
11.
always had one guy who went to hell and one guy who went to heaven, and they're like really radical.
Yeah.
Kayla knows what I'm talking about.
Let me see one thing.
Like the proper worship of Serenray.
You do see actually on the altar in a small folded piece of paper that seems to be nestled in front of one of the.
Do you know the traveler?
Oh my God. Is it like a single one, or does it look like it's for handouts?
A single one.
Yoink.
Special artifact.
I steal it.
No, I want it. It's rare. All right, I'll take a look at it.
No, I want it because it's rare.
And
Oh.
unfortunately, Elena beat me to it. It does say, "Do you know the
sweet.
traveler?"
All right, well I'll take that because this is intriguing, and clearly this is what Serenray wants me to find with my 11 investigation check.
Yeah, you found a piece
I'm
of paper
sorry,
obviously
Cal.
placed on a. With an 11, you found an obviously placed item on an altar.
Sweet, nailed it.
I'm sorry, Cal. I didn't mean to steal your thunder.
It's okay. I was like,
Right.
oh, a pamphlet, yeah.
I will study that for a bit.
Does
There's
it have
dicks in this thing.
crude and obscene drawings in it?
It better.
Anyway.
So some time is spent there.
All right. So time is spent there. Anyone else got anything they wanted to do here?
What is
Or there, or-
Benedictus doing?
Yeah, what is Bernie doing?
Oh, he's having his conversation with Lady Kima.
Okay.
Cal, we can do that off screen if you want to focus
Sure.
on other people.
Oh, we don't have to focus on other people, but if you don't want to have that in front of people, we can also do that.
I think it's funnier if things that I sent you in Messenger happen and nobody can do anything to stop it.
Agreed.
Wise.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
So he casts
Whatever.
orbital bombardment on Clave.
No, we don't have that operational yet.
Elena also wants to look for errors. I forgot to mention this.
Oh shit, arrows! Damn it!
I thought she said heirs,
I
Errors.
have
and I was like,
already
"Whoa, you can just
be
buy
very
an
prepared.
orphan and make him an
Um,
heir?"
Bernie. Well, let's just assume the Platinum Sanctuary pays for what you're purchasing to do the thing. So no need. We're not going to deduct funds for that.
Money to do the thing.
Ooh,
Okay. What about the last thing that I sent?
intriguing.
Last thing I sent.
We've been talking about getting arrows since Singorn and forgotten every
Yeah,
time we had an
that's what
opportunity.
I've made arrows too, okay?
It's
and
not
they
the
were
same.
bomb-ass arrows.
They're okay.
Excuse you. I can take your arrows back.
You didn't give me any!
I did too!
I still have
No,
4
Rico.
arrows written down.
No, I gave you like 10.
I just
Why don't I have them?
defines them of the druids.
I see it.
Okay.
Okay. That is what is happening with Bernie then.
All right. So, anyone else have anything they wanted to do this afternoon?
I would like. Xavier would like to scribe one more spell into his book.
Okay. Are you going to do that in the middle of the street?
Please.
No.
Alright.
Before the day ends, he'd like to scribe another spell.
All right. So, is everyone done shopping in Vasselheim and heading back to the Platinum Sanctuary? Or...
No.
Okay. Sapala, what do you want?
I want to hold on. What's the word?
Word. Word is the word.
Hire an assassin to
So-
kill Bernie.
Tempting, but I think that's
I was muted.
We did just get paid.
I could do it myself. I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna kill anybody. I'm just.
Oh.
I think the challenge has already been put out there.
Well, it has grown.
So there is a district for the Wild Mother, right?
Yes. That's the birth heart.
Yeah, so I was just double checking to make sure. I think it
I
is.
don't know.
Yes. Melora.
Well, I'm going there. That's where I'm.
Okay.
Yeah, I figure at least I'm going to, because they came with me. So
All right. And Eldora's, I assume you'll leave with them
Yeah,
as
I'll
well?
accompany. Absolutely.
I did my part. It's their turn.
So as you come into this district, you are immediately met with a stark contrast, where the rest of the city is compact, mudded streets and stone buildings. The abundant terrace district of Vasselheim, devoted to worship of Melora, is mostly wooded areas and land. You can see that it can provide most of the entire city of Vasselheim. And whereas the weather in the city is cold, and outside there's even a gentle snow, in here, which is mild. And you watch as the snow falls to the ground, disappears before it hits grass.
Right.
Which is strange, because as it is early in the year, still almost, what is it, January? Like February, basically, by Marcel, but February. The snow should still accumulate, but in here it is still ample weather to continue growing crops. Who's typing on a typewriter?
George.
It's always George.
Wasn't
Somebody
me.
knocking on my door?
It's Lola.
No, it's not Lola, because she's over there.
It's Satan.
My door's over there.
It's the only other option. Just say hi to Satan.
Actually, say hi to Satin. I ordered some new bed sheets.
Ooh.
All right. Was anyone doing anything in the Abundant Terrace?
Sorry, I'm looking for something and I can't find it.
I'm touristing.
Okay. Yeah.
As
So
am
you walk
I.
around. You see a beautiful tree that has like a spiral staircase kind of around it. Yeah. Seems to be a shrine to Melora in here. There's many different houses, apple trees, and every kind of growing crop. There's massive.
I kind of want to like be by myself for a moment, so I'm just gonna try and walk away without them noticing.
Okay, make a stealth check.
feel like it'd be
Okay.
way easier to just say, "Hey, can I have a minute?"
Yeah, but see, Paul's not the type of person.
She's
And
learning
perception
too
from
much from Elena.
perception
Okay.
from you guys.
Okay.
Well, now I feel bad, so I'm just gonna be the unwitting tourist going like, "Yeah, okay, we'll follow you."
Yeah. What
13.
book am I even looking at?
17.
22.
Okay.
Wow.
Eldora's and
Look at
Vale, you're looking at all the sights, and you turn around and like, hey, wow, this place is beautiful. What do you think, Sapala?
Pala?
We
Sapala?
lost our short friend.
All right, Sapala, you duck behind a couple trees and make your way over to a secluded meadow. You do see like a couple couples walking, holding hands through here, kind of romantic walk. But you duck around another tree and they pass by, and you walk.
Okay. I'm just gonna kind of. I don't know how to explain. I'm just gonna. It's commune with nature, but not commune with nature. I just want to sit there and like pray and like connect with nature. And just,
Meditate.
pretty
Center
much.
yourself.
Yeah, because she's not in a good place.
Okay.
Gonna
How long?
dig your roots in.
But
Okay.
What?
Make a nature check.
Okay. Okay. 18.
18. All right. As you sit there on the ground and just kind of meditate on life essence forest around you, you allow the breath of the trees, scent of the glades wafting across the air, and the wildlife that moves from limb to limb, chirping, small squirrels darting from branch to branch. You feel the familiarity of the untamed nature that Granny showed beauty in once more second home, and you are able to clear your mind and be at peace for it. As Vale and Eldora's friends search for their halfling.
I don't know where she went. She came in right with us.
I thought you were watching her.
I thought you were watching her.
The,
I mean,
I was, but this. You see the size of this tree?
it's incredible.
It's huge.
Do you see? Look at the colors.
Oh right, Sabala. Did it again.
Well, I mean, she's kind of at home here, though, isn't she? This is kind of her
maybe.
jam, right?
I don't know. She's from Wildbound, right? Is this what Wildbound's like?
What's
Oh my
mild
gosh.
wound?
What?
What's mild wound?
It's another continent.
Never heard of mild wound.
Okay.
You said mild wound.
Elena's not here.
Well, let's um maybe give
Let's
her
keep
5
looking.
minutes, and then
Huh?
we'll find her.
All right.
While they are searching for me, as my mind is at peace, I kind of just want to. I don't know if this is gonna work. Probably not. But I want. I'm just gonna try. I'm just gonna talk out loud, self, and just sit, like I'm gonna try and talk to Granny. I don't think I'm gonna get anything, but Granny, if you can hear me, I believe I have found what you're talking about. If you can hear me, I don't know. Just give me some peace at what to do. With, I don't know, everything. I'm very far away from home, and I'm still uncertain about my future. That's all. Love ya.
You wait around quietly for some spots. All you swaying of trees.
Hello.
I think we lost you, Cal.
Where'd I lose you?
I heard. I heard. I don't even know what I heard.
There was
you-
a super and
Something about a tree?
you hear all you hear is the swaying of trees and the calling of.
I think your mic is caught on your clothes or something.
All you hear
There it
swaying
goes.
of trees. All you hear is the swaying of trees and
Okay. So, she gets up and I guess tries to find Bill and Dolores.
which is easy enough as you come out from behind the tree like a bunch of tourists. They're kind of just walking from one tree to another like.
Is this Apollo?
Sipala. Sipala.
Picks up a bush. Is this Apollo?
Sipala.
Just like
Nope.
the most annoying tourists.
Oh yeah,
What are you doing?
they're getting glares from all the people walking.
We're trying to find you.
Dolores, what are you doing?
Where'd you go?
You vanished.
You had us worried.
Oh, I'm fine.
Do you know how many people are out here? You could have been lost forever. We could have left without you.
I'm fine.
Yeah, you say that now, but next time we'll leave.
Okay. I'm sorry, Dolores.
You should be.
I just needed a moment.
Give us a scare.
I wasn't gone long.
You look at
I
what?
wasn't gone.
Oh, it wasn't gone.
I wasn't gone long. I'm okay.
So you all, where are you heading now?
It's a good question. Eldoris, is there anywhere you want to go? Anything you're looking for?
I do not want to go to the Temple of the Raven Queen.
You do
I
not?
think we should stay as far away from that place as we can.
I agree.
Who has the orb, by the way?
Oh, I do.
Okay.
I have no idea who has it.
The
I
Chain
think-
Oblivion orb?
Bernie had it last I knew.
Bernie
'Cause he's
had
the
it.
one
Oh
who-
god, I still have it.
No,
He grabbed it and went through the portal.
No, I thought
No,
I thought they put him into the platinum vaults.
Oh, that's
they
right.
did.
Oh yeah, it
Did
is on
they?
Platinum Vault.
Yeah,
Yep.
No,
'Cause
no,
the-
they didn't.
the-
They didn't take it. They just said they wanted to take it.
I thought they took it.
I thought they took it just along with
Well,
along with
the
Agony.
plan was to get Grog back.
Yeah, they were flying him.
Okay.
Flying him.
All right, so we'll
back
say.
here.
I don't remember saying it officially, but we'll say that Bernie then gave it to the Platinum Sanctuary.
Works for me.
So the
All
Platinum
right.
Sanctuary has it.
Yeah, I think this Raven Queen's got the. I mean, I shouldn't talk because, I mean, well, I think she's a little shadier than all the stories would leave us to believe. I have my
Shadier?
own reasons.
Speaking of shade, Dolores, I need to speak to you later.
Oh no, you cannot yell at me.
I'm not gonna yell at you. I just need to speak to you.
Am I in trouble?
No, you're never in trouble, Dolores.
Okay. Uldora starts like panicking, like like the entire rest of their journey through the streets, like he's kind of lost in thought, like, what did I do? What did I say?
Oh boy, do I know that feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's you guys. Is everyone heading back to the sanctuary now?
I want to find arrows, and then I want to go to the. Am I muted?
No.
Yes.
Okay.
I did want to wander a bit more.
Okay.
Shopping episode.
I mean, I'm trying,
Okay.
but there's not much I can think of that I
got
want.
platinum to burn right now, man. You know?
Oh, is it possible to find someone who knows how to use a katana? Because I got
Okay.
this sweet katana.
So you make your way around the city to the Braving Grounds district. Make a make an investigation check.
All right, I really should have put proficiency in that. Ooh, natural 20.
Natural 20. All right then.
Need proficiency.
You pass a whole bunch of people training, kind of keeping an eye on the fighting using. Eventually, you pass one lone corner of the training ground where a man in familiar armor is seated, slouched, but humanoid looking, not tall like one of Han Yosai, but wearing very similar samurai-esque, is watching everyone as they are training in this area.
It's the captain from Whitestone.
I was so worried that it was.
That would
have been awesome.
That'd be so awkward. I want him to be the current Crucible champion. That would make me very happy.
Go up and knock him on his ass again.
Oh, you again. Sweet. I haven't even reached my final form. Is he's human?
From what you can tell, humanoid.
He's not a bullywog.
He is not a bullywog.
Excellent.
I miss bullywogs.
Nope.
Yep.
Alright, yeah, I'll walk up to the guy. Hey.
Hey.
Well, that's rude.
Gotta assert dominance.
Kind of leans very slowly. The helmet looks up, and you see this demon mask face with the two tusks sticking out. The base in a.
Sorry.
What?
Talking to myself.
No.
I forgot I wasn't muted.
In a very traditional samurai mask kind of way, looks to you. It's piercing wooden eyes, just a small black hole with see-through. You
I was wondering if you could help me. I noticed you have one of these fancy swords, and I'll pull mine out of my bag of holding.
As you pull the sword
no.
out of the bag of holding, he suddenly and in a flash
Try it.
stands and well, make an initiative roll.
Oh shit. And he kills me.
This is how Vale dies.
Hey, can you teach me?
Doris calls dibs on all your
You failed the lesson.
Nice dip.
10.
Okay. In a flash, faster than you expected, he stands with your sword still partway out of the bag of holding. He grabs the hilt of it and pushes it back down in and withdraws the blade of his katana halfway out of its sheath and holds it up to your neck. In one flash, and holds perfectly still.
Heck, Vale, what did you do to him?
Yeah, like that. I can you teach me how to do that?
He doesn't move and just sits there continuing to hold the blade to your neck.
I'd like to learn how. Do you speak common?
The blade slowly begins back into the sheath. Eyes never leaving you for a moment.
Elven?
Why do you want to know how to use this?
I've seen it used, and it's a formidable weapon in the right hands.
This is not a weapon. This here is a part. This is your spirit. You want to learn how to use this? You have to become as familiar with it as you yourself. Prepare to
Okay.
make that journey.
Yeah, I think I am.
Who sent you?
But I said that with more conviction. After I said it, I was like,
First question I have for you. Who sent you?
I sent me. I'm here of my own volition. Mostly.
Second question. Where did you get that weapon?
I found it in north of Tizarm.
You have been to Cairo.
Yes.
This is good. Already done. Third question. Sapala, how close are you right now?
I'm standing right next to Vale.
Oh shit.
Looks you in the eye, glances over at Sapala, glances back at Vale. How familiar are you with the name Salvador?
Sally?
Salvador?
Duh.
Oh shit. Do I know?
Crap.
No, but Sapala does.
Hold on, let me just look at my notes real quick.
Sapala, I would like you to make a deception check.
I know of a Salvador.
Out of character question, what do you know of Salvador?
Well, I have this folded warrant
Yes.
that is signed by a Salvador.
No.
Folded warrant. Signed by Salvador.
That's all right. So what do you
I
say?
have to
Are you Salvador?
The eyes continue to watch you, and you see his thumb on the edge of the hilt kind of go lax for a moment on the blade. By Salvador.
What? Oh.
By Salvador.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry, my
No, it just
Sonic attack!
It just scared the shit out of me.
sorry, my mic fell out. What happened?
We were just
I
waiting
don't know,
for
you
then
did a sonic attack at us.
He thunder waved.
I know of one Salvador, and he is not an ally of mine.
Oh. What of this one? He kind of points to Sapala, and extends his hand toward that. Are you holding the warrant in your hand right now, or?
No, that was just George checking his notes.
You actually have notes on this?
Everyone has this note.
Oh.
I'm ready to deck this guy if he makes a move to Sapala. What of her?
He turns toward her, begins to sink down to her level,
Give her a
eyes
flower.
training directly into hers. Let's just say the people of a village have got what she did.
What did you say?
The people of a village have not forgotten what she did.
Is this a bad thing?
Is she your ally?
She is.
He stands back up really quickly. Then I will train you.
Sipawa hugs this guy's leg.
And dies.
As she hugs it, her head rolls on the floor.
And
Her
that's
body
where we'll
doesn't
end,
let go.
and that's where we'll end tonight's episode.
Alright.
Oh, I'm gonna cry.
Look what you did, Cal. You're gonna make her cry.
All right, guys.
Cry.
Thanks for joining us on tonight's episode. Wow, that was a lot of exposition that happened that I wasn't expecting to happen at once.
And shopping.
You mean role playing?
I mean, role playing.
We'll see you later then.
Bye.
Bye.